After the Second World War, Germany was in ruins. Buildings were destroyed, cities were deserted, but the damage went deeper than bricks and mortar. The Nazi Party had poisoned Germany with its hateful ideology. Denazification was the process of removing Nazi influence from every part of German life. It was a huge job. The Allies, the victors of the war, were determined to make sure Nazism never returned. Imagine a garden overrun with weeds. Denazification was like pulling out those weeds. It meant removing Nazi symbols, laws and ideas. It meant punishing Nazi leaders for their crimes. And it meant teaching Germans about the horrors of the Nazi regime. The Nazi Party under Adolf Hitler had committed terrible atrocities. Millions of people were murdered in the Holocaust. War crimes were committed across Europe. This left a dark stain on Germany's soul. The Allies knew that simply rebuilding Germany wasn't enough. They had to address the root of the problem, Nazi ideology. Denazification was seen as essential for several reasons. It was a form of justice for the victims of Nazi crimes. It aimed to prevent Germany from ever again becoming a threat to world peace. And it was crucial for rebuilding a democratic and peaceful Germany. One of the most famous aspects of denazification was the Nuremberg Trials. These trials brought top Nazi leaders to justice. They were held in Nuremberg, Germany, starting in 1945. The trials were a landmark event in legal history. For the first time, individuals were held accountable for crimes against humanity. The trials exposed the horrific extent of Nazi crimes. They also established important legal principles that are still used today. The Nuremberg trials sent a strong message. Those responsible for atrocities would be held accountable. Section 4. Rebuilding minds, education and re-education. Denazification wasn't just about punishment, it was also about rebuilding German society. The Allies understood that changing laws and removing symbols wasn't enough. They needed to change the way Germans thought. Education played a vital role in this process. Schools were reopened with new textbooks and curricula. Teachers were screened for Nazi affiliations. The goal was to teach German children about democracy, tolerance and human rights. Re-education programs were also set up for adults. These programs exposed the lies of Nazi propaganda. Section 5. A long road. Challenges to denazification. Denazification was a massive undertaking and it faced many challenges. One major obstacle was the sheer scale of the task. Millions of Germans had been members of the Nazi Party or its affiliated organizations. Identifying and processing all of them was a daunting task. Another challenge was the Cold War. As tensions between the Soviet Union and the West grew, denazification became increasingly politicized. The Soviets used denazification to target their political opponents in East Germany. In the West, there was pressure to reintegrate former Nazis into society, especially those with valuable skills. Section 6. Germany today, the legacy of denazification. Denazification was a long and difficult process, and it wasn't always perfect. However, it had a profound impact on German society. Germany went through a remarkable transformation in the decades after World War II. It rebuilt itself as a stable democracy and a strong advocate for European integration. The lessons learned from the Nazi era are deeply ingrained in German culture. Germany has made great efforts to confront its past and atone for its crimes. It has strict laws against hate speech and Holocaust denial, and it has paid billions in reparations to Holocaust survivors. Denazification may be a historical event, but its legacy continues to shape Germany today.